Okay, LaBrayla, today we're going to be doing some reading, and we're going to start with our reading, and I want you to go ahead and read this passage on heat since we're focusing on heat this week. Go ahead and get started. Start here for me. And remember, I want you to use the strategies that I've taught you about using your finger and making a three-point connection. Okay? Okay?
What is heat and how is it measured?
Okay. Now remember, you came up with the question about what is heat. So as we read, we want to be able to figure out what is heat. That's our focus. We generated our question, what is heat? And now we need to be able to learn how to find it. And what is heat? I'm already going to tell you that what is heat is a right there question. So that means you can do what?
Find it in the book.
Find it in the book. Very good. Let's see if we can find it as we read, okay? Start with the title.
Thermal energy and heat. Matter is made of tiny moving particles. The form of thermal energy that moves the particles is called thermal energy. Thermal energy always flows from hotter to colder things. The flow of thermal energy is called heat. Look at the picture. Heat warms the glass. It makes the particle in the glass move faster. They get faster apart too, so the glass starts to melt. Its shapes change.
Okay, so remember our question was, what was our question?
What is heat?
Okay, so can you now tell me what is heat?
Heat is a matter.
No. Did you see it in the text? Okay, let's go back and read it again. And remember, you're looking for what is heat. It's in the text.
Heat flows of thermal energy is called heat.
Very good. There's our answer right there. Do you see it? Put your
Yes.
finger on it. So we know heat is the what?
Flow of thermal energy.
Very good. And let me ask you a question. What is thermal energy? That's also a right there question.
That moves particle is called thermal energy.
And how does it move?
Ways. Thermal energy always flows from hotter to colder things.
Very good. Very good. Read the next page.
Then the glass cools. The particle moves more and more slowly. They get closer to the glass. It now a solid. Its shape.
The glass is now a solid.
It change.
Its shape.
Its shape does not change.
Okay, so I saw where you missed this word shape. And then you read too fast. You just slow down and take your time. You missed this word, which was is. But other than that, you did a great job. Let's turn the page. What are we going to be talking about on this page, Sabrina? What do you think the main idea is going to be about?
Temperature.
Temperature. Do you have a question? Can you generate a question for me about temperature?
How does temperature move?
How does temperature move? Okay. What other questions can you come up with about temperature?
How temperature can be measured with a thermometer.
How can temperature be measured? So you answered your own question because you know that from your past experiences that you can measure temperature with a what?
Thermometer.
Thermometer. Okay. Can you, when you measure things, how do you measure them?
With a thermometer.
You measure them with a thermometer. What does a thermometer tell us?
How hot or cold it is.
Oh, very good. Okay, let's keep reading.
Temperature is the measure of flow, hot or cold something is. Temperature measures how fast particles in matter move. As they move faster, the temperature goes up. When the temperature is high, the particle have more energy.
So talk to me about what you just read. Explain that to me. It says when the temperature is high, the particles have more energy. What's that look like if I'm boiling a pot of water?
It looks like
The particles, how are the particles going to be moving?
faster,
Faster, because it's getting what?
hotter,
And then when things get colder, how do the particles move?
slowly.
Slowly. Very good. Very good. Okay, so let's look at these comprehension questions. Heat is the flow of what?
Thermal energy.
Very good. Very good. Thermal energy always flows from something.
Something. Another?
No, remember we just talked about this. When you measure temperature, you measure how hot or cold something is. And we also learned that thermal energy always flows from something what?
Hot,
To something what?
cold,
Very good. Heat makes the blank in matter move faster. What was that word we talked about? Those things that move.
particles.
The particles. Very good. Okay, let's stop here and take a short break and then come back, and we need to do our closed reading sheet. Okay? All right. Okay, let me see your pencil. You did a really good job on your closed reading activity. You got through it pretty quickly this time. Last time it took you a little bit of time, but you're starting to get better at this. You like doing these? Okay. At first they were pretty hard. Now they're kind of easy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go over this. Let's read it together.
In the early 1900s,
Hundreds. Henry.
Ford made the Model A car. It did not go very fast. Soon a lot of people had cars. Women had cars too.
Great. So you got these first two words correct. They go in the blank. And I noticed also that you use your strategy of marking the words out so that you can know what's left. So that strategy is working pretty good for you. You like using that strategy? Okay, great. Let's keep reading.
Some men worried about this. They thought that women were not good drivers.
Good.
Some places passed laws about how women could drive.
Good. And you found more words, so I'm going to check this one off. I'm going to check this one off and check this one off. And I see where you already underlined them, so you're doing a great job. Let's keep going.
In one state, Tennessee, a woman could not drive alone. A man had to walk or run in front of the car. He had to wave a red flag to warn people.
Very good job. How would you feel if you had to walk out in front of the car with a red flag while your grandmother drive down the street? Would you like to do that?
No.
You think that would be dangerous?
Yes.
Why? Why do you think that would be dangerous?
Because you might be hit.
Why might you be hit?
Because when you're not paying attention and she not paying attention, then she gonna probably hit you.
Very good. And then our extension activity is they want you to use your inferencing skills. And we talked about inferencing skills, haven't we? That's when you take what you already know and you make a connection with the information. And then you're able to also draw what? Conclusions when you have good inferencing skills. What made it possible for men to walk or run in front of a car? What made it possible?
Laws.
Now you wrote this, so you should be able to read it to me. Laws about. Okay, so I see you made a mistake in how you spelled this word about. About is A-B-O-U-T. You got it backwards.
How women could change made
Men
men
to walk or run in a car. Okay, so we did this and you did a good job on this closed activity, filling in the blanks. So it lets me know you're understanding better what you're reading. Now, what I want you to do now is I want you to talk to me about what you're reading. Talk to me about this. What did, if I was your friend and I said, what did you learn about when you did that reading activity about the cars and women today? What would you say to me?
What I would say was I learned that it did not go very fast because Henry Ford, he didn't make cars go really fast. But now in the early days, they make cars go fast so people can get on the highway or go out of town.
Okay, so that's some stuff you already know. But if I asked you to tell me what was the main idea about this, what was the main idea?
The main idea was about how could women drive.
That's very good. Good job. High five. All right. Wait. Okay, guys, so today you're going to do some paired reading. And LaBraylon, I want you to read first to Jaden. And Jaden, as he's reading, I want you to check to make sure that he is reading correctly. If he misses any words, you are to correct him. And then I want you to also be paying attention, Jaden, because at the end you have to ask LaBraylon 2 questions about the reading that he must be able to answer. Okay? LaBraylon, are you ready? Okay, let's do it.
Thermal energy can move in many ways. One way it can move is by conduction. Conduction is the movement of thermal energy between objects that touch each other. Look at the eggs in the frying pan. Heat moves from the burning to the melting pan. This makes the pan hot. Then the heat moves from the pan to the cold eggs. Now the eggs are hot and the eggs gain heat from the pan by conduction. After a while, the eggs and the pan will be the same temperature.
So now, Jaden, I want you to ask LaBraylon 2 questions about what he just read. And LaBraylon, I want you to answer the questions. Can you guys do that for me?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
What is conduction?
Oh, great. That's a what kind of question?
All right.
Right there.
So LaBraylon should be able to find that in the text and respond to it appropriately. Go for it, LaBraylon. I know you can do it.
Conduction is the movement of thermal energy between objects that touch each other.
Very good. And I can see by you reading you found it in the text. I'm very proud of you. One more question, Jaden.
What is one way thermal energy can move?
One way it can move is by conduction.
And it also moves from what?
Thermal energy.
No. It moves from what? It moves from what?
It moves from
No. When you put your pan on the stove and you turn it on, how does it move? It moves from the what? What's the temperature of the fire?
heat.
What is the temperature of the fire? Is it cold? Is it hot?
Hot.
And so, temperature moves from
Hot.
to what?
Cold.
Very good. Now, Jaden, I want you to read, and then LaBraylon, you're going to ask Jaden some questions.
Thermal energy can be moved in
Louder.
many ways. Thermal energy can be moved in many ways.
No, turn the page for me. Turn the page. There you go. Slide it over so that LaBraylon can see the words if he needs to correct you.
An insulators. How can you pick up a hot pan without burning yourself? You can use a pot holder. It is An insulator. An insulator is an object that heat cannot move through easily. A
LeBrandon, can you
Object.
help him?
A pot holder keeps the pan's heat from moving to your hand. Cloth is a good insulator. Wood and plastic are also insulators.
Jaden, what is an insulator?
An insulator is an object that heat cannot move through easily.
How do we use an insulator?
We use insulators by using a pot holder
To keep our hands
to
what?
keep our hands from burning.
From keep our hands burning, because insulators help slow down the movement of what?
Heat.
Of heat. Very, very good, guys. LeBrandon, I would like you to read one more page.
Air is an insulator to air. Space in the stuffing of a winter jacket, helping keeping body heat from moving away from you. Have you ever seen a bird flapping up its feathers? It is making air space. The air space keeps the bird warm, just like the air space in a winter jacket.
Good. Ask him a question.
What is one type of insulator?
Metal. A pot holder.
A pot holder. Very good. Or when you go outside, you need a what?
Winter jacket.
To keep what?
Air space.
To keep you what?
Warm.
To keep you warm. All right. Very good. I think it's time for a break. Let's take a break, guys.